What if I told you that one simple phrase could make you unforgettable to a woman, that one line could echo in her mind long after you've walked away, leaving her with an impression so powerful she'll never forget it? It's not about fancy pickup lines or rehearsed compliments. It's not about playing games or trying to impress the secret. It's in what you say when you're not trying to say the right thing. There are words that transcend attraction, words that tap into something deeper, a primal pull that women can't resist. Words that once spoken linger in her subconscious, like an unforgettable melody in today's video. We're diving into the stoic philosophy that gives you the power to say less, but have it mean more. I'll reveal the key phrases that women don't just hear, they remember. These are the words that shape the man you become. In her eyes, words that make her obsessed with the idea of you. So buckle up, you're about to discover the secret phrases that will leave you on her mind long after you're gone. Oh, and before we continue, I've got something special for you, a free ebook, The Female Mind. Control Handbook. It reveals the hidden secrets to making any woman crave you grab it. Now, link in the description or pinned comment. Let's move on one. You're free to walk away. It sounds like indifference. It sounds like you're giving up. But deep down, it triggers something primal in her. When a man looks, a woman in the eyes, calm, grounded, unshaken, and says, "You're free to walk away." He's not pushing her, he's not playing games, he's handing her the illusion of control, and that illusion is what makes her stay. Why? Because most men cling, they chase, they suffocate with need and permission seeking. But the stoic man, he's already whole. He understands the paradox of freedom. When you give someone the choice to leave, they suddenly fear what they'll lose. This line holds gravity. It's not angry, it's not cold. It's still balanced like a mountain, watching the wind try to move it. When you say this to a woman, you plant a seed in her mind, one that whispers, "This man doesn't need me, he chooses me." That difference, it's unforgettable, and here's where it cuts deeper. Women remember moments that flipped power on its head. They remember the man who didn't beg for their attention, but gave them the dignity of distance. She might walk away in the moment. But that line, it echoes in her thoughts, in her new relationships, in her late-night moments of clarity, because behind those 5 words is a man she couldn't manipulate. And that leaves a mark. 2, I don't need you to understand me. There's a moment in every relationship where the woman tests your emotional center. She wants to feel you, to figure you out, to see if you'll unravel for her. And most men, they do. They explain, they overexpress, they pour out every thought like a boy begging to be validated. But the stoic man, he smiles and says, "I don't need you to understand me." 8 words that turn her entire psychology upside down. Because what she really wants to know is this: do you define yourself through my eyes? When you say this phrase with calm certainty, you're showing her you are self-contained, not distant, not emotionally unavailable, but deeply centered without needing external approval. It's not arrogance, it's discipline. And women remember discipline. They remember the man who wasn't a puzzle piece, trying to fit into their chaos, but a completed portrait they could stare at and never fully figure out this line. It builds tension, sexual, emotional, and psychological. Why? Because humans are addicted to understanding what they can't explain. And if you deny her the comfort of figuring you out, she'll keep coming back mentally, emotionally, and even physically, trying to crack the code. That's what makes the stoic man dangerous. He doesn't need to be seen to be solid. He doesn't need agreement to be right. He walks alone and invites her not out of weakness, but from fullness. And when she hears that line, "I don't need you to understand me," something inside her stirs. She realizes she's not in control of the story. And that's the moment she remembers forever. Through peace is more important than winning. She throws a verbal jab. Maybe it's a dig. Maybe it's an emotional hook masked as sarcasm. She wants a reaction, not because she's evil, but because she wants to know what lives underneath your calm. And when you don't bite, when you smile and say, peace is more important than winning, you've just stepped into rare air. This isn't weakness, it's strength refined and elevated. You've told her, I don't fight to prove my worth, I walk in truth, even if it's silent. Most men fight to be right. They escalate, they argue over details and pride, and bruised egos, but the stoic man, he picks peace over power games. That doesn't mean you let her walk all over you. It means you refuse to drown in shallow waters, and that mindset. It seduces her soul because now she sees you're not afraid to stand still while she spins. You're the lighthouse, not the ship, and that's what burns into her. They could have the choice to walk away. You trigger something profound saying, I can walk away, but I choose to stay. Is more than just a declaration of your independence. It's a statement of absolute power. It says, I don't need you, but I'm choosing you anyway. And that, my friend, is magnetic. Here's why women will remember this when a man gives her the freedom to walk away. He's giving her the freedom to stay, not out of need, but because she desires to. The subconscious mind responds to power. It responds to the idea that someone, even someone they care about deeply, can walk away without hesitation. It triggers a fear of loss that's so deep, it will leave a mark on her thoughts long after the conversation ends. Because here's the truth. Most men miss when you give her a choice. You're not just showing strength, you're giving her space to choose to surrender. And that's a choice most women secretly crave. A woman will remember a man who makes her feel free, because true freedom is never found in dependency. It's in the understanding that someone chooses to stay, not because they need you to, but because they want you. 5, I know what you need. Even when you don't, this one's subtle but deeply psychological. Most men will ask for what a woman needs. They'll guess, they'll try to give her what she asks for. But the stoic man, he observes, he listens to her unspoken desires, those little cues she gives without even realizing it. And he meets them without a single word spoken. When you say, I know what you need, even when you don't, you're not just being a mind redditor, you're demonstrating perceptiveness, a trait so rare and magnetic, it compels respect. Why does this stick with women? Because it shows that you understand her better than she understands herself. It shows that you see beyond the surface, beyond the words, beyond the fake smiles, beyond the expectations. You're in tune with the quiet spaces in her life that no one else notices. Women remember the man who can offer what they need without having to ask. It's not about material things or grand gestures. It's the silent, intuitive acts that create the most emotional connection. And that's why the stoic man stands out. He doesn't need to ask because he's already paying attention to the deeper currents running beneath the surface. When a woman feels understood on this level, it's not just memorable, it's irresistible, and she will think about it long after you've said those words. 6, I don't fear losing you. It's a dangerous thing to say to a woman on the surface. It can sound like indifference, like a man who isn't emotionally invested. But here's the twist. It's the greatest act of emotional mastery. I don't fear losing you is not an attempt to push her away. It's a demonstration of supreme emotional control. It's you telling her you're not afraid of being vulnerable, but you also don't need her to validate your worth. This line shakes her to the core because it reveals something almost no one dares to acknowledge. When you fear losing someone, you give away your power. And when you're not afraid to lose someone, you hold all the cards. Why do women remember this line? Because it challenges everything they've been taught about love, relationships, and control. It makes them realize that you can love without fear, that you can choose her without being desperate for her. The stoic man who isn't afraid to let go of something that isn't serving him makes her question her own attachments. Does she need him more than he needs? Does she respect him enough to let him choose, even if it means walking away. This line will linger in her mind, making her feel both safe and intrigued. Because every woman secretly wonders if she can find a man who will still choose her even without fear. And that kind of confidence, it's unforgettable. And there you have it. The words that leave a mark, the sentences that stick in her mind long after you've said them. Remember, being a man of stoic calm and strength doesn't mean being emotionless. It means mastering your emotions and letting the right words echo through her mind, creating attraction, respect, and a level of desire that doesn't fade. Now, these words may seem simple on the surface, but their impact is anything but. Women remember the men who don't need them, yet choose them. Anyway, they remember the men who understand them without trying to control them. And most of all, they remember the man who stays grounded in himself, no matter what life throws his way. So next time you speak to a woman, remember, it's not just about what you say, it's about how you say it and what it reveals about you. And if you want to unlock even deeper stoic truths that can make you unforgettable, join the members-only room where we dive even further into the secrets of attraction, power, and presence. Click the link below to join, and I'll send you a free ebook that breaks down even more strategies to make her remember you forever. I'll see you inside, and remember, your words matter. Make them count.